podcast.
I'm Mikey Dobbs.
And I'm Carmen Butler.
And this is
The ATL On Fire podcast show. So, Dave, do you think that we are going to win on Saturday? Going straight there.
I'm going to go to Carmen first. What do you think, Carmen?
Oh, I don't think we're going to win.
Really?
I don't know why. I feel like I'm becoming pessimistic while y'all are becoming very optimistic. But I just don't. There's nothing to excite me about.
Yeah.
But San Jose is awful, right?
They're not good. They were
not good?
pretty far down the table last year, if not the worst. Yeah.
Glass empty.
Glass empty. Carmen is glass empty.
I'm glass empty.
No.
I'm glass
Dave,
empty.
where are you for the starting game?
Come on.
Glass empty?
Oh, darn it.
So I'm going to predict that we struggle and we get a tie at home on opening day.
Ooh, I'll take a tie.
No, you won't.
I'll
I mean, why? I
because I think we're gonna lose.
San
I'll
Jose
take a tie.
is a terrible team. They're coming into our home field. I mean, if you look at our squad versus their squad on paper, they've had a new coaching change last year, right? Like, there is nothing good about San Jose. We have an easy, God bless, an easy schedule to start the
We
season.
do.
First 3 games
We
are
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
easy. Until we play Portland, right? Which is the fourth game.
I'm going to go with a 2-2 tie.
I
What are
like
you
it.
going to go with, Mikey Dobbs?
I think that sounds extremely reasonable.
Damn it.
There's no evidence it's painting any other picture. Now, the only thing is like we will have players on the field starting together that have never started together. That's the only X factor here, even though
Okay.
we're going to be missing So we're going to have Etienne, presumably.
He's definitely going to play. I
Okay.
think he's going to come off the bench.
Okay, you think so? So that means Wiley's starting then?
I think Wiley's going to start. I mean,
Okay.
again, you never know with Pineda, but
I don't
if
think
I were
so.
the coach and a guy has only played 30 minutes in preseason, I'm not sure I would start him in the first match. I'd have him coming off the bench still, but especially because in the case of Etienne, you have a very, very capable backup in Wiley, who's a terrific player.
That's the thing. I have no idea what Pineda is going to...
It's a crapshoot.
It is like it seems clear to us, right? If you're going to say Guzan, give him the shot to start the year coming off the ACL. Okay, great. Of course, I think the rest of the back line pretty much paints itself, as we talked about. You got Gutman, Miles, Parata, I think, is the safer bet as center back with Abram needing to work his way in, and Lennon. And then in front of that, for me, it is Ibarra and Josetu in front of him with Almada, Etienne, and Arouge out wide. And then I suppose, was it Jackson Conway?
I got to presume that if Papa Giorgio is ready to go, that he's the starter.
Which would be fabulous.
Yeah, put him
So
in.
If he's available, absolutely, right? So to me, okay, so let's presume that that's the starting lineup, and we do have Papa Giorgio. I think if we have, I say we win if we've got the Greek.
One thing is interesting about Pineda, I was going to say, is he seems to think preseason is a chance to just try stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when we went into last season, I don't know, we could go back to that, the preseason podcast that we recorded. We didn't have any idea that Tyler Wolff was going to be the starter on day one, right? When we saw that walking into the stadium on the first day, we were all like, huh, what?
Right.
You know, and so I think that, to be honest, he doesn't see the preseason as what I would see it is. I like getting my team ready to go, getting them playing together, establishing what the starting lineup is going to be. He sees it as a chance. Everybody gets a little fit. We get to see. We try out a lot of things, and then going into the starting game, then I decide who's going to be the starters, which to me is a nuts way to run preseason.
So here's what I think. I think if George Yakimakis, Papa Georgia, is able to start on Saturday, that we win.
Okay.
If he does not, we'll get that 2-2 tie. The one thing I liked about the interview,
I was assuming he was starting when I called the 2-2 tie.
Now,
I'm a little more hopeful with some Papa Giorgio. And
Yeah, the guy's got a little attitude. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, but I've never seen him play with Atlanta United.
It doesn't matter. I like his attitude. Like I honestly, I think that's kind of what we're missing in terms of even Joseph wasn't able to bring last year. It's like just a little bit of arrogance, and this guy's got it.
He does.
He's got it. Now, he could fall flat on his face with that arrogance, but he certainly seems to have it in spades in terms of, like, not afraid of the mission here.
He has that forward mentality.
Yeah.
And I love it. I like it.
The other thing I was going to say about Pineda is he seems to think not only preseason is for tinkering and getting people shot, but he actually thinks that, me as a coach, I'm like, I've seen these players for a long time. I have a good idea. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind. As they start the season goes on, I might see something or whatever, but I have a good idea. If some guy plays really well for 20 minutes in preseason, it's not going to change my mind about who the starting lineup is. But that's not how Pineda does it. I mean, Pineda seems to think that, you play well in preseason, you get rewarded, including you get to start on opening day, right? And so, for example, in St. Louis, right, who does he start? I mean, the guy who was the star in that game, the AmFam Cup, in the second half, was 17-year-old Brennan.
Yeah, Brennan.
Oh, yeah.
Right, who has never played anywhere on the U.S., nothing, right? He's 17. He's just been in the academy, right? And he was terrific, and he scored a goal, a terrific goal.
But that's not preparing for the start of the season.
And then he gets a starting role in St. Louis. He started that game. So you could honestly see him like, okay, if he did well in that St. Louis game, which we have no idea because we couldn't see,
Not a clue.
you would say Pineda's like, oh, he's earned it, and he's the starter. That to me sounds nuts.
If Brennan is he Wayne Rooney? I mean, what?
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the thing. It's not like you have a guy.
17.
It's one thing if you've got
Wayne
a
Rooney
Wayne
came on
Rooney
for Everton
or
at 17.
A Cristiano Ronaldo who everybody knows is like looking like
Right.
the next thing.
Right.
But if that's the case, right? Wayne Rooney, I am sure when he played at 16 for Everton, that preseason, right? There is no chance that he was like, the coach is like, look, he's 16, he might be ready to go. Let's play him in preseason, play him every game. And sure, he played well the entire preseason. He played with the starters the entire preseason.
Right.
But that's coming from making a decision about a guy and then going with it in preseason. So if for example, we had a guy like, let's say they thought Brennan was going to be the next superstar, then he would say, we've been talking him up. He was done all this stuff in the youth thing. Now we think he's kind of ready. And from the very beginning in preseason, he would be playing in the things. That's not what happened.
No.
He played really well in the second half with all the 17-year-olds.
Right. Yep.
Right? And he scored a goal. To be really honest, he didn't play that well besides scoring the goal.
Oh, really?
Now, all the fans voted him for an MVP of that game because they're like 17-year-old. The kid who scores the goal.
Always
Who
vote
wouldn't
for
do
the
that?
17-year-old who scores the goal. Yeah.
But I think Pineda actually thought that's legit. And, and you would say, look, he would argue probably, look, Toluca brought in a bunch of their starters in the second half. And again, if I were Atlanta United, I would have been livid. Yeah. Right? Toluca came in, they brought like 3 starters against our starters, and they brought a bunch of their starters in the second half against their 17-year-olds. What's up with that?